Hey guys, this is part 2 of my deep analysis of the February 2021 Advisory Committee, BSIS Advisory Committee agenda. Just my analysis, my rationale, my thinking for it. That's it. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to look at the whole hour and 35-minute, I think, video. Just don't take my critique of it for word of thought or for legal advice. Just my opinion. I'm just adding some salsa to the chips, if you like salsa. Or I'm adding the appetizer to the plate, if you like appetizer or dessert. Okay, I'm just coming up with some metaphors, by the way. So, in my book, The Private Patrol Operator, I explained that a proprietary security employer, if they want to have an armed officer, that they need to have a private patrol operator license. I did mention that it is kind of a gray area, okay? The law is not clear. However, if Assemblyman Chris Holden's Bill 229 passes, which it probably will, because remember, Gavin Newsom signs anything that comes along his desk. If it passes, proprietary security employers who wish to have armed private security officers need to have a private patrol operator license. That can be a good thing for you guys, because maybe they might have to halt their operations until somebody gets licensed. And we all know that it takes a long time to get licensed. You're talking about 4 to 5 months of testing and application process. Now, when I say proprietary security employer, I'm talking about maybe a movie theater. It could be Walmart, Target, maybe Amazon, all of the major manufacturers who have an armed private security force. In my book, I mentioned it is a gray area. The law wasn't that clear, but it swayed towards having a private patrol operator license. But 229 clears up that ambiguity. Ambiguity? Is that ambiguity? I can't even pronounce it. It's too early in the morning. Just got off of work. It really clears the air. But this is the crazy thing. Why wasn't the proprietary security employers, the large businesses, the employers who have armed guards, why weren't they speaking up during these committees? Why is there only 20 views when I last viewed the agenda? Why are there only 20 views? Do you think it's fair that the California legislature imposes their will on private businesses? Because that's what they're doing. And the whole rationale is, well, we want to hold the employer accountable. Okay, hold them accountable. But look, there's money involved, because a private patrol operator license, you're looking at an easy $1,350 or $1,375, and then every year you have to do the renewals, which is about close to $800. Okay, so they're making money off of this. They're taxing these businesses who just want that armed protection. That's not right. It's not right. You should have a God-given right, or even constitutional right, to defend your business, armed or unarmed. Why should you have to pay a fee to BSIS? Pay for a private patrol operator license if you don't intend on contracting to other businesses. That's just not right. And I'm just puzzled why nobody speaks up at these meetings. I'm not even an employer, a proprietary security employer, but I'm agitated at this whole situation, because I just see that government is taking advantage, and they're taking advantage because there's lack of accountability. Nobody holds BSIS and the legislator accountable. You guys keep voting for these people into office, usually Democrats. There's some Republicans that have no idea what they're doing, but California has mostly Democrats. You guys keep voting these people into office, and they keep passing these things that affect you. And by the way, if you are a private security professional and you voted for Chris Holden, I don't think that was a smart move, because why would you vote for somebody who tries to get legislation passed that's against you as a private security professional? That doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, so I'm gonna shut up for a minute, and I'm gonna play the video where somebody from the hospital industry, hospital security industry, talks about the requirement of PPO licenses, or I'm sorry, proprietary security employers having to get a PPO license if they want to carry, if they want to have an armed guard force. So I'll shut up for a minute. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, I'm going to call on Darren Morgan first and then Stan.
Thank you, Lynn. Just one question from the healthcare side. We've got several hospitals that have employed their own security. And based on what this bill is saying, for those hospitals where those security officers are armed, they don't have the PPO option. So would this bill effectively wipe out that option for private employers?
Ooh, that's a good one. And I'm going to throw this over to Sam, but I mean, the short answer is yes. Sam, if you have anything else you wanted to add on this, feel free to jump right in.
Well, keep in mind that a security guard can work for a lawful business, but an armed security guard has to work for a PPO or government entity because they have the badge and patch requirements. If you go through the Private Security Act, in order for that guard to carry a firearm, they have to have a bureau-approved arm patch on their uniform. So, I mean, in essence, yeah, when you have situations where, they're employing armed security, you have to have that patch. They should be working for a PPO anyway. So this language is just further clarifying what currently exists in law already.
Okay, so I know of a member hospital that does have armed security, but they are not licensed as a PPO, and they've had that in place for a significant number of years, at least 20 plus years. So I'm seeing this as a change, and that hospital would then need to comply with this legislation.
Correct. And one thing to keep in mind, there are certain exemptions in the Private Security Act about, not-for-profit agencies, but the law doesn't also authorize a not-for-profit agency to then employ an armed security guard. So if you have a hospital that's engaging in something like that, please feel free to give me an email and let us know. We could definitely reach out and work on educating them.
Okay, thank you.
After watching the video, BSIS just kind of cleared a gray area, but in another way, I think that when there's a gray area and they're putting their opinion into something, they're actually, in a way, writing rules and regulations without the proper authority, without the legislator involved. They're, in a way, creating their own rules and regulations on their own. You can't do that. You need the legislator to do that. You could create some guidance in the law, but you can't create your own laws, and I think that's what they're doing a little bit. And I even mentioned that in my book, Private Patrol Operator. Okay. Now, if it's clear that if you're a government agency, you have a right to have armed security officers. That's a right. If any other political subdivision, you also have that right. And I'm talking about private security. Maybe I'm talking about maybe school districts, college districts, maybe water districts. Those are political subdivisions. You do have a right to have an armed security officer without having a private patrol operator license. BSIS is clear on that on this video. Okay, what's not so clear are the non-profits, like hospitals. Okay, that's a little bit gray area because they're not really a political subdivision. They're really just a tax exempt agency. So anyhow, just let me know your thoughts on anything. If you have any questions about anything else, just let me know. And leave it in the comment section below. Okay, guys, take care.